Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Dropping into Happiness. We are your hosts. I am Rachel.
And I'm Maggie.
Hello, Sundrops. And immediately apologies if my littlest dog, starts barking. I don't know what it is she's barking at, but I will try to keep this wild animal under control because, we do record from home. But hello, friends. It is Wednesday, November 9th. So it was second Wednesday in November, getting closer and closer to some holiday fun. But hello, Sundrops. How's it going? What's going down in your town?
It's been a while since we told y'all to check in with us on Instagram or in the comments section of our YouTube or anywhere. You want to DM us, check in, let us know how you're doing, how you're holding up, how's 2022 been, how are you feeling about the rest of it? we want to have a conversation with you. And speaking of Instagram, Rachel, do you want to do the honors of sharing our good news?
Yes. So I really feel bad that we didn't last week because we have officially hit over 1,000 followers on Instagram. Woo! And we promised you guys that when we did that, we would do another giveaway. So indeed, we are going to do another giveaway. There will be actual ways to kind of put your name into the hat because, we've got over 1,000 of you guys now. We need to kind of make sure everybody's participating in it, and then we can pick a winner. We want to give you guys some swag, maybe another gift card, and it's going to be really cool because, we just want to say thank you guys so much. So it's been really cool. Such a fun year. It's almost been exactly a year that we started this. So been such a fun year. I know. In January, we should either do like a best of, but I do feel like in December, like late December, I kind of want to start to look ahead and like lay out our goals and like break down big yearly things. I think that'll be kind of fun to do together. So
definitely.
Yes.
Fun.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we hit all of the major intro highlights. So we'll jump right in.
Yes.
Rachel gave me the honor because I basically decided on this week's topic. We're going to be talking about routines, and we'll touch on morning routine, evening routine, but I've been doing some research. I've been listening to some other podcasts and just hearing about the benefit of a very structured morning and or evening routine and the impact it can have on our overall behaviors and how it can set the tone for the day and set the tone for a wind down in the evening. So I kind of just wanted to pick Rachel's brain, like see what her routines were looking like, talk through my routines a little bit, and then maybe in anticipation for the new year, thinking about how might we utilize those routines, or how might we grow those routines, what we might add in or take out. We were talking about last week with burnout. Maybe there's some trimming that needs to be done. But what would you say, Rachel, your morning routine looks like on a typical day in your life?
What's funny is as you were saying that, I was thinking my evening routine kind of ties into my morning routine because I like to make my mornings as seamless as possible. Because like you said, just last week I was talking about how I've been on the struggle bus a little bit lately, but some things just have been just locked into who I am now. So I am the first one up in my house, and we talked about this in WW actually a few weeks ago in workshops, like breakfast. I'm a breakfast eater. I have to have breakfast before I leave the house. So I make sure that everything in my morning revolves around me making sure that I can have breakfast before I leave. I don't want to be scrambling. I don't want to be flustered. So I always lay out my clothes and everything the night before in the bathroom, on the toilet, because my husband is still sleeping. So I go in there, I tiptoe in there. And for one thing, I do love my watch. I have the Fitbit, and it has the silent alarm. I don't know if anybody else has experienced a silent alarm. So it doesn't wake him up because it just vibrates. Which I also like. I don't like the noise because it startles me. And then I don't like that feeling, like waking up with that, like I don't like waking up with that feeling. So
but
I love the vibration.
You wake up with the vibrations? Because I would be afraid that I would not notice it, like if I was out.
I love it. I know. And when I first got it, I would do double because I was scared that I wasn't going to, but I love it. So I get up, I creep into the bathroom, I get fully dressed from everything that I had laid out the night before. So I don't have to go back into the bedroom because like I said, he's still sleeping. I don't have to creep around in the dark. I have all of my clothes, my shoes, my socks, my jewelry, everything is laid out. And I get up about 5:45, 6 a.m. and I just know that by 7 a.m. I need to be done getting ready. So I can take my time. I can do whatever I need to do. I can make a cup of tea. I can flip on my phone as long as I am ready by 7 a.m. Because at 7 a.m. I walk my dogs. I come back. I make sure that my kids are moving, which usually my daughter is up before me. And my son at 7:20, I'm like, bud, hey, you got it. Are you up? Like, you got to move. Like and then I get my husband going too. And then I start making everybody's breakfast. Oh, these sweet cheese and crackers. And everybody in my house has to have something different. Like everybody is a different kind of breakfast. So I'm doing that. And then that gives me enough time to sit down. Me and my husband sit at the table and have our breakfast. And literally as soon as I'm done, I put my plate down and I have to pick up my stuff and go. Like it's so well timed, but I'm like, I can't not have my breakfast. So I know that by this time, and it's become a very well-oiled machine, but I do think it's because it starts the night before, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, my morning is pretty on par.
Do you really value that time that you have to yourself before the rest of the house wakes up? Is that like a make it or break it kind of moment for you?
I kind of do. And I didn't really think about that. I like how it's kind of quiet for a little while because I'm a podcast girl. I love me some podcasts. And so I'll turn on one of my podcasts because I love my family. But like the second they get up, I'll be listening to something and they'll walk out and just start talking. And I'm like, I'm listening to a story. Like, but I can't do that. So I pause it and then I stop and listen. So I do kind of like that uninterrupted kind of like quiet time in the morning. And I can just kind of focus. And like sometimes I answer emails or I do a couple things. I'll check, podcast stats for us. But like, it's just kind of quiet. Kind of nice that it's so quiet for just a little bit. I guess that does kind of clear my head for everything. But the majority of the time I have my lunch already pre-packed or I've already brought it to work because I like to do that on Mondays, just bring it all 5 days of the week. So it's already there. Yeah, that does feel nice. Like, because I don't like to start the day flustered. I think that's why I don't like noise alarms because I don't like that. I don't like that feeling first thing in the morning. I'd rather start with a clear head, feeling good, like I got a control over the morning. I feel like I got control over the day, no matter what it's going to bring. I had my as my daughter calls it, my egg thingy. So my avocado toast with my eggs and my spinach and my green tea and my grapes and my, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of nice because then as I walk out the door, I know like everything was set. I'm not forgetting anything. I have everything in hand because I hate that feeling too, like scrambling. I don't like that feeling of scrambling because it puts me in a flustered state, I think, for the whole day. Yeah.
I totally understand that. When you feel that you're like on it with the tracking and everything, what part of your day does that fall? Are you like a major pre-tracker or do you track in the morning? Do you track the night before?
I track as I go. Like if I tend to not put something in my mouth unless I've tracked it. Like I'm that's the only kind of sense of pre-tracking. Like I track it before I eat it, but not usually like a day or so out. Like in the morning as I sit down, I'll put in my breakfast, even though I already know what that's going to be. But like my lunch, as I sit it out, or if I'm making a meal, as I'm prepping it, I'm like, okay, this was this cup of this, or this was this. So yeah, I'm not a big pre-tracker, but knowing, especially when I do pre-plan my lunches for the week, I've been trying to pre-track just because then it's one less thing.
Right.
Because then I'm like, I know I'm having the same breakfast. I know I'm going to have the same snack in the morning. I know I'm going to have the same lunch all week. So I've been trying to do that because I'm like, boom, already in there. Then I know what I've got working for dinner. Yeah, I'm good to go. I know how many points I have for dinner and my afternoon snack. So I'm all set. So that is very helpful. I've been trying to get into the habit of doing that.
I have been setting my clothes out for the week the Sunday evening.
But you do for the whole week, huh?
Yes, I try to.
I love that. Yeah.
Because then that frees up time in my evening during the weekdays when I'm a little extra busy or tired and just not interested in picking out clothing. But so my morning routine, I'm also the first person in my household to wake up, but I have no children. I have Seth and my dog. But my dog will sleep in till about 10 a.m. She is like a teenager. I've thought when dogs got older, which she just turned 3, they like got up earlier, but she's just chilling. Like sometimes we have to wake her up and be like, okay, you probably should go outside. But I'm the first person to wake up, and I always set an alarm with the best intentions, and then I hit snooze at least once. And Seth is like, why don't you just set the alarm for when you know you're going to wake up? And I'm like, but then what if I just want to hit snooze again? And then my snooze is later than my original snooze.
Yeah.
But I only snooze once, and then I get up and I go straight to the bathroom and I take like a hot wash. I get the water as like hot as possible in the sink, and then I like wet this washcloth and then I put it on my face like, and then I just like, I feel like I'm wiping out the sleep and just like the hot
That
water.
sounds nice.
It feels so good. And like opens up the pores and everything, of course. And then depending upon like what I did the day before, like when I worked out or what have you, like I usually won't shower in the morning, but like I will wash my face and everything. And I like to do my hair in the morning. Even if I don't do any makeup, I like to make sure that my hair is done. And like that's the time that I'll like kind of like you are with the podcast, like I'll put on a YouTube video and I'll be like getting my hair ready for the day. And if I don't really need to do the hair, then I will do my makeup, but I'm not always one to do both.
See, I'm opposite. I would rather have my makeup done than my hair, because my hair can go up in a high pony and a headband, and one of my honey bear bands, like in a heartbeat. Like I will do my makeup though, and not my hair, and so you're vice versa. You do your hair and your makeup. That's funny.
I feel like at least one of them needs to be done, but it's rare that I do both. Like on a work day, I don't know why.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's just it's because I snooze. Probably if I didn't snooze, I'd have time to do both.
That extra 10 minutes. Yeah.
So one time I get my outfit on and everything, then I go into the kitchen, and I had been in the habit of taking my breakfast to work for the whole week.
Yeah.
But I haven't been doing that as recently. I don't, because when we build habits, like if you don't do it 1 week, then it usually turns into 2 and then 3. But I've been consistent, I have my meal ideas in hand. So recently I've been, having a lot of breakfast sandwiches. So I will have pre-made them. And then in the morning, like once I'm done getting ready, I'll pop one in the microwave. And then while that's in the microwave, I'm like putting my lunch in my tote bag, grabbing my snacks, making sure my water cup's filled up. And I'll have my greens. I think I've shared in a podcast about my Motivate greens, which
it's been a while.
A powder that you mix into your water, and it just adds like vitamins and minerals and fiber into your day. It's a supplement, not required for weight loss, but I feel like it's just a nice like investment in my health early in the day, and I like the way that it tastes. And I'm not a coffee drinker, which is
Me neither.
like we're similar in that way. There's not a lot of people out there like us. Like I just do not like one of my students. I had this little like mug that was probably intended for coffee, like a travel mug, but I was drinking water out of it. And my students were like, "Is that coffee?" And I was like, "No, it's water. I don't drink coffee." And they were like, how are you teaching us at like 7:30 in the morning and you're not drinking
I
coffee?
just don't. I don't like the taste of it.
I don't like the taste. No, I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate
hot bean soup.
And I tried to like it. I've tried it a lot of different ways, and I just can't get into it.
Oh, coffee drinkers will always tell you that. They're always like, "Oh, well, let me make it for you. You won't even taste it."
You gotta try it this way. I'm like, no. And I have FOMO, like especially this time of year with the fall and the holiday drinks and everything. I'm like, oh, I want to be included, but then I'm like, no, this is terrible. So anyway, I have my greens and I pack my school bag, and I grab my sandwich, and I'm out the door in the car on the way. And then I'll usually like listen to music or like podcasts and just kind of ease into my day. And I get to work by 7:15, and by 7:25 there's kids in the classroom. And so there's not like a huge turnaround time. At the beginning of the school year, when I had that new year energy, I was getting to school a lot earlier, and I had like more space between getting to work and actually starting the school day. But I've kind of fallen out of that. But that's where my routine is right now. And then my evening routine, I feel like, is where I lack a little bit of consistency. But usually I wind down with dinner and TV on the couch with Seth, and we usually watch at least one, sometimes two shows, depending upon like when we got started and how tired I am. It's always on me because Seth can stay up late, but I like hit a wall
That's
and I'm
my
like,
husband.
I have
Yeah,
to
I'm
go to
like,
bed. Like I
mm-mm.
have to get up.
Mm-hmm.
So I will, if I haven't showered, if, I showered that morning or what have you, like I'll wash my face and take my makeup off if I had any on. And I'll do like the hot wash rag thing. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is about that, but I love it. And I'll put my hair in a braid. I'll do my hair oil, that's a big part of my wind down routine, change into my cozies. And then I recently have been in the habit of not being on my phone like after 9 o'clock. But again, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
all of these things take consistency. Like I have big visions for what my routine will look like, and I'll do it for like 2 weeks and then fall off, and then do
Yeah.
it for another week and like fall off. So, ideal world, I'm not reading or I'm not on my phone, but I will allow myself to be on my Kindle. Like if Seth's wanting to watch something that I'm not so
Yeah.
much interested in, like I'll read my book or something, and then I peace out, go to bed. So that's what my like routines are now. But even as I was sharing my routines with you, like I felt there were areas for growth or like things that I wanted to include that I haven't been doing. So I don't know, like what do you think, Rachel? Like, is there anything about your routine that you feel like you would want to
Well,
change or
before I
add on
forget, and
to?
it's off topic, what are you reading right now?
I actually just finished Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Um,
Oh,
and I'm getting ready to start Something Wilder by Christina Lauren, which I used to think was just a person, but that's actually two authors.
really?
Christina Lauren, yeah, like
Oh, how
together.
funny. It does sound like it
I'm
could be.
definitely a rom-com or like a romance novel kind of girly, like,
Yeah.
and like the intense, like can't put the book down kind of
Oh,
person.
well, so wait,
I
did you read any Nicholas Sparks books? His are very love
I did when I
stories.
was
Yeah.
younger, like high school and early
I read a lot of
college.
his books.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of Nicholas Sparks.
Well,
The
oh,
ones I've been reading a lot of Colleen Hoover, Christina Lauren. Who else? I want
oh,
to go
I
to
am
my
dying. Okay, I like murder
Goodreads app.
mysteries. Yeah, I
See, I
love me a
wish
good
I
murder
was into that
mystery.
because that seems so interesting, and maybe I just haven't. I haven't like read the right ones, but
Okay, Mike Omer I love him, and like I every time I finish one of his books, I'm like, where's the next one? And I
ooh,
immediately pre-order it on my Kindle. And so I love when it just like magically pops into my Kindle one day and it's like, hey, guess what? You have a new book. And so
yeah.
his next one is coming out very, very soon. And he likes to do books in threes. So he'll
Hmm.
have like little trios. However, one of his series is like starting to overlap with his newest one. And I was like, shut up. I was
Ah,
so excited.
it's so fun when that happens.
I know. So so I don't know when that one's coming in, but for everybody, you guys know that I'm such a Potterhead. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Tom
Oh yeah.
Felton's book just came out. So
Ooh.
what is it? Oh God, what is it called? Growing Up a Wizard or something like that. So I have that. I just got that on my Kindle.
Beyond the Wand, the
Beyond the
magic and
Wand.
mayhem of growing up a wizard.
Oh, I wasn't that far off.
If y'all don't have I don't know if I've talked about this in a podcast
I think
already.
you have actually.
If you haven't got the app Goodreads yet, it's amazing. If you love to read and you need help like keeping track of what you've read and what you want to read, like I just pulled up like gosh, I've been reading a lot of Colleen Hoover, but I've also read Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, Things We Never Got Over, Lucy Score, The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I'm like really into this thing where it's like enemies to lovers. Or like
Ooh, the
friends,
drama.
friends. What's the word? Like when you can't love, like when you're not forbidden love. That's the word. Like
Oh, you're not
forbidden
allowed
love
to
to
love
love.
them.
Like
Gotcha.
there's like I'm all about that, but like I want to expand
Ooh.
my genre interests, but I'm just like really in a. Emily
That's
Henry's
so
another one.
funny.
Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've read a lot of her books, but like this is total tangent. It's been a while since we've done that, but I've read 21 books this year. And
Oh,
I
wow.
haven't read that much in years, like since high school maybe.
Yeah.
And you know what's really funny? Okay, this is again tangent, but I have like over 18,000 people following me on Instagram, and like some of those people could very well be people from high school. Like I
Yeah.
just don't really know who else following me.
Mhm.
But this one girl messaged me and was like, "Hey, you might remember me. You used to babysit me." And she was like, I love following your account, and you like this. It's been like over a decade since I've
Oh,
like
wow.
babysat this girl. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, yeah, I totally remember you. But she was like, you were the first person to tell me about the Twilight series. And now every time I hear of Twilight, I
Oh.
think about you, because I guess when she knew me, that I was like invested. I was the kind of person that would
Well, the
start a
books were
book,
great. I
and
love
I
the
would
books.
I would be thinking about the characters nonstop. Like if my mom was like, unload the dishwasher, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen with Jacob? Like, oh my gosh, Edward, like just like thinking constantly like, and I was so obsessed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like I was probably so annoying to
Did
this
you
like little
read
girl.
Midnight Sun?
Yes, I
Were you
did.
okay with Midnight Sun? It's been such a hard read for me.
Yeah, I
I
haven't
love
read
the
it in a
Twilight
while.
series, but like Edward, I'm like, oh my God, you're such a baby. Like, I
Yeah.
just can't
Oh, he
take.
always was.
He's
He
like,
always was.
oh my God. Like, I can't take
He always
it.
was a baby. Yeah. But
Oh, he's
I was
making
always
that a
kind
hard
of
read for
team.
me.
I was always kind of team Jacob, honestly. Like I don't
Edward's making
know.
that a hard read for me, big time.
Yeah.
But that was my
But
fault. I got you on that topic. That was my fault.
right.
My
I
bad.
used to other random tangent, these are my confessions. I used to write Jonas Brothers fan fiction.
Oh my God. Did you
So
really?
yes, that
I
was
love that creative side of your brain, though. I
yeah,
love that.
I actually got the English writing award my senior year. I was shocked.
Wow.
I was shocked because I just didn't see myself as anything other than like a choir kid. So when I won an
Yeah.
award for it, I was like, so anyway, yeah, I have tried to replace scrolling in my nighttime routine with reading, and I got the Kindle, and that's been really fun because you can like check out books on the library, and for some reason that just helps me wind down better than like scrolling on Instagram.
It really does.
Ooh, another life update. I just got TikTok, and I'm terrified about it.
I was going to say something, but I wasn't sure if you wanted everybody to know.
Yeah, I have TikTok, y'all. MAGGIETRACKSMAGIC. It's the same as all my other socials, but I haven't really spent a lot of time scrolling because I'm afraid. I don't want to like do too much, but
Go down the rabbit hole.
I also want to tell them what I want to see, and you have to like spend time telling them what you want to see, and then I want to post like my first TikTok, but I have no idea what I'm gonna say or like what I'm gonna do, and it just like feels like a lot of pressure, and I'm like.
I feel like you could, because you have an opportunity to almost niche it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
instead of doing a bunch of random, find a topic, find a subject, do something specific, and just kind of keep it on par.
Yeah,
I think
I feel like I need to do like a little intro for my first one, like hello, this is me.
Yes.
But yeah, so my
fun.
morning routine, I really want to do more hatching in the morning. Like I would like to get up a little bit earlier so that I have more time.
Hatching?
Well, so I'm not like getting to work and then immediately starting the day. You know, it's like hatching is like kind of like what you were talking about where you're like listening to your thing and taking your time, and just I would like to incorporate that. I would like to be more consistent with vitamins. I would like to be more consistent with the skincare routine.
I love my vitamins, and I kept forgetting because like I don't want to take them unless I have food, and then I kept like just having my food and be like, okay, I'm out, and I was like, son of a gun, I didn't take my vitamins, so I got myself a little pill pack, and now my pill pack is on the counter, and so because I take one before my food because it's something that helps with my digestion, and then I take the other ones afterwards. So now to help me, because I'm a extremely visual person, I take my one before as I'm like prepping my food, and then I leave my pill pack on the counter because that helps too, because before I was taking pills out of multiple bottles. I have one for vitamin D, I have a multivitamin, I have like a couple other ones that are very specific, and it was like taking time, so that was one of my friction things. So like, what can add some more fuel? What can make this easier? I got my pill pack and I leave it open and on the counter. So even if I forget it, as I'm bringing my plate in, right as I'm going to walk out the door, I'm like, oh yeah, burp, burp, and I just grab it. So that has helped me be more consistent. Yeah. that's my sound effect for popping my vitamins. But that has helped me be more consistent with my vitamins, is making them more visual and making it all together in one spot. So that's helped me. I've just started to do that this last couple of weeks.
Which the week that we're recording this, we're talking about physical environments and workshop and ease, visibility, and distance. And so I think part of that's been helping me or inspiring me to think about my morning routine and just like setting the tone. And I've been really focusing on sleep and recovery. And I feel like the way we wind down down at night really affects sleep. And so I just kind of wanted to share with the podcast listeners just the basic scientific benefits of a routine. It says your
Oh.
stress level will fall if you have a plan. You'll feel more in control. You have already made a lot of your decisions in advance, and you can focus on making good choices for the ones that remain. You'll sleep better if you have a consistent bedtime routine and sleep schedule. So going to bed at the same time each night, waking up around the same time each morning can really like impact the how deep sleep you get and just all of that. You'll enjoy better health. You'll have more time for meal planning, setting aside time for shopping and meal prep because you'll have that structure and routine. Most people are just happier in general with a schedule because then you can build in time for play. And it can affect, like Rachel was saying, the efficiency of how your family runs as a whole, having that structure and that routine. And so I feel like I am someone who for a long time flew by the seat of my pants and just like was like, I'll figure it out. Everything's going to be fine. But I've been using my teacher planner. It is November. I've been using it
Yay!
every single day since the first day of school in August.
Nice.
And just having that structure has inspired me to look at, okay, what are the other areas of my life that I can have a set routine where I know this is what's going to be expected and this is step 1, step 2, step 3. And I don't think it has to be super complicated, but just those steps need to be there too.
It's funny you say that about the nighttime, like your sleeping routine. I never really believed that. I was like, because on the weekends, I'm like, I want to sleep in a little more. But even if I sleep in, because I usually get up about 6, Monday through Friday, regardless kind of what's going down. Like I'm like 5:45, 6 o'clock. You know why I say 5:45, 6? Because I set it for 5:45. When my alarm goes off, I snooze it because I want that time of like kind of coming out of sleep and then being like, okay, I'm ready to open my eyes. So I will still be out of bed before 6 though. So it gives me that, like I'm allowing myself to hit snooze. But Friday night, 9:30, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to bed. My husband's like, what are you trying? It's like Friday night. I'm like, this is when I wind down. Friday night, Saturday night, 10 o'clock. I'm done. I'm so done. Cause my body's just so like, hey, I don't care. Even if I sleep in a little bit more in the morning, 10 o'clock, like I'm head to bed. I can't, like my body is so set to that time. But that's kind of another reason I brought up the reading too, because I do love reading. I had this routine where at 9 o'clock, I was like, all right, 9 o'clock rolls around. I'm taking my shower, washing my face, and I want to lay down and read for that last half hour. And then when 10 o'clock hits, I'm putting the book down. And I've just been so busy though with work. Like I end up working later in the evening now. And so I'm glad I'm going to have a little bit more of my afternoons free so I can do some more of my other work. So I want to get back into reading at night, like after my shower, laying my clothes out, like grabbing my book and laying down for just 30 minutes. Right? It doesn't have to be a super long time, 15, 30 minutes. And so I can just kind of read and get my brain out of the rest of the day and into a different world. So I want to get back into doing that.
Yes. Is that your star goal?
No.
It
might be for a following week though. I think I could do that. No, my star goal this week, actually, I was talking last week about how habits I used to have, I rewound the tape, looked at previous habits of what really, really helped me because I had put on 25 pounds in the last year and a half, of what was very beneficial for me. And something that I was doing, so previously before my promotion at the station, I wasn't going into the radio station until 10 a.m. So I had a goal of drinking 20 ounces of water before I left the house. Well, now I leave the house at 7:45 and I 100% don't have my water by then. But so I don't have a very structured, like when I need my water done by now. So my goal for this week is by 10 a.m. to have 20 ounces of water drink, regardless, because I'll be at work. And so whether I chug a 16-ounce bottle at home, whether I talking this out now, bing, light bulb. When I'm getting my stuff ready the night before, I need to fill up one of my bottles with water. So as I'm sitting here in that hour while I'm getting ready, maybe I need to just make sure I drink that before I start doing my other morning, like before everybody else gets up kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, I might do that.
I love that. That could this week's conversation.
So I do it in the evening and have it sitting. Cause like sometimes once again, to make my morning routine go smoother, I get all my makeup out. Cause I get ready at my desk away from my bedroom because I need lights on and everybody else is sleeping. So at the night before, I'll get my mirror down and I get my brushes down and I get my makeup down because I have like little drawers where everything goes. So in the morning, all I got to do is sit down and get started. What if I just had my water waiting? Boom.
Boom.
I'm going to do that this week.
Woohoo. Do you have a recommendation you wanted to share?
My recommendation, friends, sundrops, dear darlings, is be specific. I mean, we do say that about our STAR goal. STAR stands for specific, truly doable, has an action, and it's relevant. And the more specific we can be, first of all, the easier it is to see once we've hit it. And it takes out that I don't know why the word ambiguity is the word coming to mind. I know that's not the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean? That just like kind of like up in the air, like, oh, I'm going to get in more activity this week. How?
What does that look like?
When?
Right.
Yeah. What is that going to look like for you? Because like right now for my water this week, instead of just saying, I'm going to drink more water. No, I'm going to drink 20 ounces of water before 10 a.m. And then I even narrowed that down to, hey, the night before, I'm going to fill up a 20-ounce bottle and have it waiting for me first thing in the morning to start on. Like like I said, the more specific we can be, the easier it is to see once we've hit these goals. So be specific, friends. That's my recommendation.
Yay. My STAR goal is I'm going to sit my vitamins out on the counter.
Yes.
This in the kitchen, so that they're there, because right now they're in like a little cube organizer thingy, and they're like in the drawer. So if I sit them out, then I'm more likely to take them. And then my recommendation is one, like to just take a look at your morning and evening routine, see if there's any areas that you want to grow, see if there's any areas that you want to trim, things you want to shake up. And then a product recommendation, this is for my running friends, my friends who do endurance training. You're out doing activity for more than 45 minutes, you need to be refueling your body. You got to bring some snacks with you. And so I've recently tried this product called GU, G-U. It's literally like this energy gel in a pouch, and they have lots of different flavors. I've tried the vanilla bean, and I really liked it.
It's an energy gel, like it tastes like Jell-O, like
it tastes kind of more like pudding, kind of like the texture of pudding.
Oh,
yeah, it's really interesting. But it has 450 milligrams of amino acids, 60 milligrams of sodium, and 20 milligrams of caffeine. So again, like after 45 minutes of activity, you'd take this and then continue forward.
And that feels like it's like a very travel friendly pouch too.
Yep. Put it in your little side pocket or your little belt. But I've tried vanilla bean, strawberry banana, and chocolate outrage. And so far I've loved every flavor that I've tried, and it hasn't made me feel sick or anything while running. And it's more convenient than like eating gummies and things, because you literally just suck it out of the pouch. So
interesting.
I just wanted to pass that along for anybody that might interest. But that's it.
I like it.
Oh, you ready for me to share the quote?
Yes, ma'am. Let's hear this quote.
Y'all. This quote: "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." That was Aristotle.
I love that routines. One. I feel like we might have used that one before, but it's just such a good one.
Yeah, routines, man, they can make a difference.
Not everybody, like people don't roll out of bed excellent, right? We got to work on these things.
Except Beyonce. No. And Taylor Swift, maybe. I love her so much.
Oh my gosh. All right, friends. Well, think about your routines this week. We love to hear from you guys. We always will put a teaser on our Instagram. So guys, when we put that, talk to us about it. Whether even like a couple of days later, if you then listen to the podcast, go on there and talk to us. I love to see you guys. We do actually get a lot of comments on YouTube. I love interacting and hearing how it's related to you guys, what you've done. Get on our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to it, so it'll always tell you when a new one is launched. Same thing with any of the podcasts. Y'all, that doesn't cost you anything. If you subscribe to it, it just means that it'll notify you when the new episode is live. So that's all that does. But thank you. And thanks for dropping by.
Have a magical day. Bye.
Bye.